All right, hello again, everyone. This is Bob, and today I'm going to be talking about Catwoman #1 by Joe Duffy, Jim Balent, and Dick Giordano. Um, this actually is not a comic that I read when it came out. I had seen these pictures everywhere by Jim Balent. I know that him doing this Catwoman was a pretty big deal. That everybody was talking about it. Whenever I looked at a wizard, I was seeing that all the time. Um, I guess because he draws like a hot-looking Catwoman probably. So I do have this along with a bunch of other ones from this collection here, and I just actually read it today. And I gotta say, it's a little bit better than what I was looking for or thought it was. Uh, I like this picture here. This is actually a pretty decent picture. What I don't like here is when we look at this front cover, the uh, the outfits. I don't know. I just so like yeah, this is nice and everything. It's a great figure on a woman. Um, it's just how are the boobs separated in their own portion of the costume? You know, um, I tend to draw it. Well, basically, as you can see here on my Ghost Girl character, right? Like there's cloth here, you know. So it looks like there's a costume being worn. This is basically just a naked woman, and then that's it. But I get it. That's how most people were drawing that stuff. But here we have Catwoman, and she's immediately saying, this is not going the way I planned because somebody's like, hey, it's Catwoman, and obviously a museum with a Neanderthal exhibit. And here she is being chased by security guards, and she can't really understand how these security guards found her. She did not trip any of the sensors because she's too good for that. The artwork is pretty good here. It tells a good story. I like a lot of this. Is a very good shot of Catwoman right here. So is this. All of this is pretty good, but you've got Catwoman flipping over these security guards, taking everybody out, and you know, this one guard told her to put her hands behind her head. That's what happened right here, and she's just like this, trying to be all sexy and everything. And the guy's like, knock that off or whatever. But she pulls a whip out and whips him right across the face. And I gotta say, that is God, that's gotta hurt. It's a whip across the face. I mean, come on. Sometimes I think, they do things in comics like, when we're dealing with the fantasy of stuff, you just look at it and it's like, oh, okay, like he'll be fine or whatever. But sometimes it rings a little too, like the reality of the situation and it can get you. But the whole time she's just like, I have no idea what could have possibly hit this silent alarm. And then we cut to a little mouse that just happened to back into the security system there. So it was actually an accident that the alarm went off and caught her. But she, runs out and she meets her contact who apparently had somebody else there. And that person takes what she stole because apparently everybody here works for Bane. Now, I was not reading DC Comics at this time. I had read them prior to this. I knew some stuff about it. Like, this is when DC was getting kind of extreme with everything. Like, Image Comics had come out, and they had to compete in some way, so they ended up killing Superman, which, sold millions of copies. And then, they do this, and then they end up breaking Batman's back, So this was at a time where apparently that took place, and Bane is now the head of, like, all crime in Gotham City. And this guy works for Bane along with Catwoman and her partner here. So he came to take that stuff to Bane. And then Catwoman and this guy go back to their apartment where this character says, sell, and stops abruptly. She was about to say Selena Kyle's real name. And then this guy's just like, sell what? And, she hurries up and like kind of fixes it and says, the gems, were you able to sell what you stole, blah, blah, blah. so we're getting the impression that, she's trying to keep her name private and everything. So this guy rolls out, and Selena and her talk about how, it would be rough if anybody knew, her true identity, her real name, and that they have to keep it quiet. And then it also, goes back and tells the story of how she had taken this girl in off the streets, because she had moved to Gotham thinking it would be safe because Batman was around. But I guess then Batman wasn't around because maybe he had his back broken or whatever. So Selena Kyle ended up taking the girl in. And then we also find out that Selena Kyle kept a little bit of the jewelry for herself and ends up putting it on one of the cats. Of course, this, she gets a little nervous about this because she's like, hey, you kept that from Bane? That could be dangerous, right? And then we cut over to Bane. And, of course, Bane is here, conducting his business, being a leader of the crime syndicate or whatever it is. And now he's talking to these people about getting Selena Kyle's real name. And they're just like, well, no, I haven't, been able to do it yet or anything, And then he kind of reminisces about, like, what brought him to this. Like, this is all Bane's backstory here about how, he got Venom to make him strong and everything, how he broke Batman's back, how he came to power in Gotham City, okay? And this is when Selena Kyle's partner comes in smoking, and Bane lets him know, I don't like smoking, you're going to put it out right now, or I'm going to take you out like Batman. And the guy's like, okay. And he hits them with the next target that Selena Kyle wants to do, which is this rich couple. And the guy's like, yeah, I agree with this, blah, 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 we should totally do it. Selena Kyle knows what she's doing. And Bane's like, okay, you have my permission to do whatever. And then he brings it up about, Selena Kyle potentially breaking away or leaving and not working for Bane anymore. And this guy's like, no, I never got any indication that that's what she's thinking about at all. And Bane's like, okay. But then he does talk about how, he's been trying to find her real name. So, of course, I don't know. That one seems a little unnatural to me that, Selena, there was almost a mix-up in the very beginning and, she's keeping her name quiet and everything. And I was pretty sure that, like Batman knew who Selena Kyle was, as Selena Kyle, had a name out there or whatever. But apparently every name that Bane had looked into just leads to a dead girl, basically. So it's like Selena Kyle's getting the names of these dead girls and using those names, and Bane's unable to know who she is. So he wants to know who she is. I guess that's going to give him complete power over her. But here we go. Fast forward over to where this rich couple is, and Selena Kyle leaves her partner out in the alley where he gets ambushed by somebody with a gun. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a very interesting choice to do with the color here. I don't think they meant to put this brown or dark gray or whatever here. I think maybe that should have been blue, to maybe try to get some highlights on the eye. But anyway, that one just did not work out. Now we cut to inside of this hotel here, and the rich old guy comes in and he sees, his hot wife, Tiffany or whatever. And, she comes over, they kiss and everything. And he's like, hey, let me put all of this great jewelry on you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, great. Now I'm going to go get dressed. We can't leave these people waiting. And that she's going to hurry, and she runs off. And then this woman walks in and turns on the light. And apparently that's the real Tiffany. And this guy just realizes he gave all those jewels to the wrong woman, who happens to be Catwoman. So, I don't know. It was actually brought up that, I think she says that it's kind of unbelievable that this guy thought that Selena Kyle was his wife. Like, you're married to your wife, and, how would you not know that that is her? And she's like, well, I'm the same size and the same weight, and that's why I chose this person. And I guess that's a good catch to say that, because I asked the same questions as it was happening too. And then I guess it makes sense that she would plan the heist around those facts, you know, to make it an easier job or whatever. And of course, you know, these jewels are on this cat, and this guy is noticing that. And then he takes these jewels to Bane, you know, before, you know, she's like, before Bane sends somebody to collect it. So he leaves, and he talks to that guy, and I guess, you know, he's letting that guy know that, yeah, she kept some of the loot or whatever. So this guy's like, okay, I've got my rocket launcher with me, apparently. It's not here, but it's here now. And the cats can sense this. I guess cats would sense if there's a rocket launcher down the street or something. I don't know. But he ends up blowing up the apartment, and we get it to be continued. I have to say, it's all right. I liked it. I thought the artwork was pretty good. If I had purchased this back in the 90s, I believe it was 1993, I probably would have continued collecting it for a while. I do have more issues of this series, so I think I'm going to go through and I'll do a video for each one that I have. But yeah, it was pretty good. You know, the artwork is very 90s at this point, especially with how, you know, this is going on with her. The story seemed okay. There were some moments that I didn't really buy into, but, you know, whatever. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I think it was all right. So if you guys like this video, please hit like. It's going to help my channel grow. I am a comic book artist, and I'm trying to get my name out there. So, you know, I'm currently working on my own comic, which will be complete in the next month or two. And then it will be available for purchase. So I'm trying, you know, to get my name out there, and any view or like helps with that. So I'd appreciate it. If you like the video and you want to see more, hit subscribe, so that way you'll know when a new video comes out. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time.